You only need 3 simple things to rank higher on Google if you're a business owner, sales or marketing manager of a manufacturing company. Hello, my name is Robert and I'm the founder of the B2B SEO agency Seegers Media. And in the past years, we helped more than 50 B2B industrial and manufacturing clients to rank higher on Google. And this is also why I'm here today and why I'm showing you exactly how that's done. Mentioning that this strategy also works for all AI models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or the Google AI Mode. But before I reveal the full strategy to you, let's break down those 3 simple basic things that every manufacturing company needs to rank on Google these days. And those factors are a website, you need great content, and you need links and digital PR. But let's go into those one by one. So first question, how does the perfect manufacturing website look like? Which attributes does such a website have? Well, let's see. The first one is that the website has to be modern looking. And by modern looking, I don't mean that your website has to look like apple.com or Tesla, right? You're a manufacturer. But how does a website look like? Let's check some design ideas here that we developed over the past years in Figma. For example, this template here. This is a manufacturer of excavator buckets, and usually all manufacturing website should look in this direction or similar to that. You of course have, when you first visit the website, design-wise, you don't have a design or a content overload here. It shouldn't be overwhelming when you visit the website. Not on desktop and not on mobile devices, of course. So a user sees H1, which directly summarizes your offering in one simple sentence. So every visitor directly knows what to expect on a website. Then we have the core offering or the USPs directly explained in 3 bullet points, and we have a call to action. And if you then scroll down, you get more trust elements, you get more USPs, you get references and client logos. We kind of did that with our website as well. So our offering is, when you work with us, you get qualified B2B leads, and we help you by achieving that in the age of AI. You get found, and those are our USPs, and then you can choose if you want a free consultation or you see our solutions. This is how you design a proper manufacturing website. The second attribute is that your website has to be fast loading. And that does not mean that you need a page speed of 100. We tested that. So this is, for example, a project. I wasn't involved in the technical SEO here, but a developer figured out a perfect page speed. So we have really great page speed values here for that website. And now what do you think? How much did that really perfect page speed affect the rankings on Google? It didn't do anything in terms of better rankings of the website. And we also see that, for example, in this SEMrush study from 2024, where they try to figure out which factors explicitly are correlating with better rankings in search engines, in this scenario in Google. And what we see here is factors such as content factors in blue, text relevance, the most important factor. Then we have URL and domain factors and backlink factors in yellow. Those are the most important that we see here. And page speed factors like user signals, like user experience factors, those kind of things, where do we see them first appearing? Down here, right? Those are the technical factors. FID, total blocking time, then we have time to interactive, those kind of things. Actually, those technical factors that we also know from the page speed test, LCP, FCP, NIP, where do we find those? We find them below 0. So they correlate negatively with better rankings. So in this study, page speed is kind of irrelevant. And the consequence out of that is that your website, of course, has to load within a couple seconds, but you don't need a super high-speed loading website. So for most manufacturing companies, don't focus on fast loading and page speed and those kind of things. Of course, your website, and that's the third attribute here, in terms of website, it has to be responsive. So it has to work and look good on mobile devices. We have this template again here. This is how it could look. Design your manufacturing website like this, so it's perfectly applicable on mobile devices as well. If you thought that was already eye-opening in terms of a manufacturing website, what do you think? How much importance is there for the content side? How does perfect content for a manufacturing website look like? Well, let's check that out next. So when we talk about content in terms of a manufacturing website, the first attribute here is site and URL structure that has to match your keyword. So when we work with a manufacturing company, we usually come up with a keyword mapping. And what you have to know is every offering that you have as a manufacturing company, you put those offerings down, for example, here in column A. For this company, it was, for example, the hot needle perforators, it was the macro perforators, and so on. The next step, for all of those offers, for all of those topics the company wants to offer on the website, we try to figure out the matching keyword set or the matching prompt set. When we look into the future, we need all the prompts and keywords that are searched around those offerings. In this example, around those machines. So for example, for hot needle perforators, we found out that people are searching those two. We use a keyword tool, for example, Ahrefs for that. For hot needle perforators, we found hot needle perforation machine, and we found out hot needle perforation machine price. We also want to map out the URLs that are matching with those keyword sets and topics. So for example, this company needs a single page for each of those offerings. For example, like this, that could be the URL machines, hot needle perforators. That's the hot needle perforators page then. And on this page, we want to bring those keywords. And we repeat this process for every single page. In order to get found for a topic like hot needle perforation machines, we need to bring those keywords and prompts on one page which only focuses on hot needle perforation machines. We repeat that process, for example, for macro perforators. So we have another page for this company built for macro perforators. We bring on those keywords and prompts. Then we have another page for laser perforators. We bring on those keywords and prompts. And then we go on micro perforators, film perforation machines, and so on. So we build out a full set of pages, of URLs on that website for this manufacturer. And on every page, we bring on content that is directed and built based on those keywords and prompts that are matching the specific page. While doing so, it's important to focus on just one target keyword set per page. So we only have those keywords on this page, we only have those keywords on this page, and so on. But there's another factor here, and that's called if there is enough content. Let's check out some manufacturers here. We, for example, work with this client, and they do perforation machines. This is, for example, one of their overview pages. This is the laser micro perforation machines page. And on this page, what we did, we implemented more content. One of the major problems of manufacturing companies is they don't have enough content. So we want to expand their content on their website. For example, on this URL, it's the laser perforator machines URL. We brought up that they have to display their machines first of all, so give a product overview of all of their laser micro perforation machines. And then when you scroll down, we have the data sheet and so on. But we have a lot of content now on the page regarding the machines. And many manufacturing companies, they just have really thin content. They maybe have a product overview somewhere displaying the machines with some visuals, but they never truly explain the data sheets. They don't have FAQ sections. They don't have in general a lot of text on the website, which is highly relevant for search engines to scan to make them rank on Google. And it doesn't end just with the product category pages like this one. What's also a good thing is to come up with more informative pages like blog articles or guides. Pages like, for example, describing different processes. Where are your machines used? Where are your products used? How does the processes of your products look like? For For example, in the terms of a perforation manufacturing company, it could be like, how are those machines used in the process of food packaging? Bring all of those topics to your page and create content around those. Then the third attribute of content is to create content as a manufacturer that AI cannot recreate themselves. As we are living in the AI age now, where we work with generative engines like Gemini, like Perplexity, those generative engines can create content based on other contents. But what they cannot do is they cannot create content on their own yet, because we don't work with general artificial intelligence here, right? They just only can recreate things. So your task as a manufacturing company is to bring content on your website that cannot be copied and cannot be recreated. Those types of content can be, for example, processes, display how your machines work, how you process different things, step by step in detail. Display videos, video content is also something that's difficult to recreate for an AI. Case studies, real applications of your machines, for example, technical data sheets, company know-how that only you know and AI engines don't know. Those types of content bring you ahead the competition and then are also used by AI models, which means that they will display you and quote you and cite you when someone looks up something within an AI search engine. This is how it works. Then we talk about the fourth attribute here of content that can be on your website, and that's structured content. You need to check if you have a working HTML headline structure. And this HTML headline structure could look like this. For example, you need one H1, and then it is structured as, for example, like in a book, you have different chapters as H2. Those H2 also have the keywords inside them. We have different H3s and so on. So logical headline structure. Then we have technical data sheets. Also really important. Bring on physical data. Bring on chemical data. Bring on data of your machines on the website. We have a product overview section maybe. We have meta tags. We have a personal contact person. Also, for example, like this on the bottom of the page. This is something that AI cannot recreate themselves because there is no real person, right? So bring more personality on your website. Also reviews. Get structured reviews on your website. Get a pricing structure, if you can, on your website. Those types of content are definitely helping to rank higher on Google and especially help to rank and get mentioned in AI search engines in the near future. But only talking about content is also not the solution for manufacturing companies to rank high on Google. But what is the last factor that we also need to rank higher? Those things are links and digital PR. And when we talk about link building, digital PR, we also talk about so-called off-page SEO. That means you have your website, you have content on your website, but you also have some things that happen outside of your website. And those things are if other websites are linking you. If you're, for example, linked within a Google business profile, if you're mentioned on social media, on LinkedIn, is your brand relevant in forums or in other niche magazines? And this is what we're talking about next. We have different categories here. Off-page links, so truly getting linked from other websites, can be checked, for example, with tools such as Ahrefs. This is, for example, a link profile of a manufacturing company. When we analyze such link profiles, we usually find different types of links. First of all, from high-quality industrial magazines, online magazines, blogs. I will show you one. This, for example, is what I found. There is an article in the online magazine Packaging News, which is definitely industrial niche magazine here, especially for packaging and those types of manufacturers. And there we find a link to a website of a packaging company. Oh, this one here. I don't know this company, but I just found it fascinating that they have this link which directs to their website. So this company is here mentioned by name and linked directly to a product machine page. Well, this is how great digital PR and link building looks like. But we also have links from social media. So your company website is linked on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We also have links from forums. Maybe people are discussing your products on Reddit, on specific niche forums, some industrial forums. And we also, of course, have links from classical media like online newspapers, break magazines. You also could have links from different portals like WLW, so things where your website usually gets mentioned as a supplier, as a manufacturer, those types of portals. And the second category here of digital PR and link building is, of course, brand and product mentions and citations. So this is, for example, when your brand, when your product is displayed somewhere, when someone says in a forum, "This machine I bought recently, that's so great, and I recommend that to you," maybe on Reddit, maybe on Facebook somewhere, or name and employee recognition. For example, in this article, there is the brand mentioned below this picture and it's additionally linked. It doesn't have to be linked to count as a mention, because when we think about AI models like ChatGPT or Perplexity, they have their own crawlers. They check where the brand is mentioned. And in terms of this article, the brand is mentioned with a link as an addition, which is a great thing. And then we also have name and employer recognition. For example, when Mr. Miller is recognized or mentioned in an article. So the CEO or an employee, that's also brilliant and works as digital PR, of course. And then we have the Google Business Profile, last but not least, which is also highly relevant, especially for local manufacturing businesses. So now you know the three main factors to rank higher on Google as a manufacturing company. And at the moment where most companies recognize what's needed to rank on Google, they definitely see that it's not that difficult to do, but that it takes a lot of time and resources to build such a recognition that you rank higher on Google. And this is why we are here as well. This is why we help more than 50 B2B industrial companies already to rank higher on Google. And lucky for you, we also offer a free consultation call. So if you want to strategize your SEO, rank higher on Google and in AI search models, then definitely get in contact with us. Book a free consultation call here. Just choose an appointment, choose a call that works for you, and then I see you personally in the call, or I see you here on the channel in the next video. Nevertheless, have a great day. Looking forward to hear from you. And see you.